Okay. The little icon's changed now, but it's just as the stream's offline.
Right. We really should get like a YouTube expert.
Yeah, but they all expect money, and I don't have any. Oh, there you go. And now it should be live. I think.
Yep.
I don't know whether the audio is live. It's probably just been hearing us waffle. But it's
if
live.
Okay, well, if anyone...
Professionalism.
What?
Professionalism.
Professionalism, yes.
It's a thing. We've heard of it.
Yes, and if it has been streaming our waffle, hello peoples. Welcome to the StudioRaven development stream. And if you haven't been hearing that waffle, then we seem like we're giggling over nothing.
What, you could always cut it out later with your lead hacksaw editing skills.
Yeah, those things.
Right.
Anyway, so we are here to update you on how Project Luna is going. So,
Going well. Hey, stream over.
as you can hear, as well as myself, Louise, Raven is with me today again.
Not very well, Raven.
He's a poorly Raven, so if you hear coughing, spluttering, sneezing, apologies.
Dropping dead, the usual.
Yeah, in the unlikely event that Raven drops dead, I may have to stop the stream. May have.
You should go on.
What, go on without you?
Go on without me, but carry me.
I'm not coming all the way to yours just to carry you.
Turn into a puppet show.
It really has. Anyway, today we are planning to talk about friend or foe. So the two things that have come up that we've put out so far. So Morrigan and Gwydion. Friend or foe, the upcoming powers. Raven will probably waffle on a bit after that, or during it.
I might, but like, I don't really know all that much about them apart from the bullet points that we have.
Yes, but that doesn't stop you from waffling. It never has before, and it never will.
Well, if you want, I can waffle on about something. I can always find something.
I mean, just so people are aware, we have got waffle alert. So, that will be the time that you can go, grab a drink, use the toilet, those sorts of things. So don't worry about that.
I conditioned them to ignore me.
We'll be talking more about WebMonkey, an update on our Patreon, and then some more waffle. Because there's always more waffle.
There's a bit of waffle because we have questions.
Well, yeah.
So.
Well, that's not really waffle. It's not waffle, it's just waffle.
You're making me very hungry.
Oh, we should have a waffle giveaway.
Okay, but only if it's rigged and I can win them all.
Well, then people will guess that it's rigged if you win all the waffles. Anyway, let's move on from the waffles. So we have been doing friend or foe recently. Friend or
foe Fortnite.
Oh yeah, so we've been releasing some concept art. Oh my god.
It's gonna be one of those days.
It is gonna be one of those days. Oh my god. Right, so the first one that we put up was to do with Morrigan. So the first thing we released was a cloak, then a standing stone, and then Morrigan. So, Raven, should we start with the cloak, since that's the first thing put out?
The cloak?
Yeah,
yes.
Do you remember that thing that you drew and everything?
No, I remember. It wasn't that long ago.
Well, I know you've been in a fluey haze for like
Yeah,
a few
and
days.
I've been watching an awful lot of Kim Possible, but no, I do remember it. Um, yeah, it's the cloak I, is her item. Like what? I'm not. I didn't really prep too much for this, really. So the cloak, yeah, it's her item that is in the world with all of our heroes and all of the animals and all of that. So
It's linked to Morrigan.
yeah, it's her sort of it's her link, it's her bridge into the animal world. Um, and I think we can start talking about like how it links
Yeah.
to. So so one of the things we've got set up for how the quests work is at the end of each quest we talked I think last week about how we plan like this boss summon thing at the end of each quest.
Yep.
And so the way this all links in is throughout the quest itself you've got like another player or AI. It depends if someone wants to be sadistic and sort of
And stuff.
play as this villainous character, or they could be good, whatever. But it's sort of the theme behind Friendle.
Do I need to put the waffle alert up?
Probably a little bit because sort of my brain's ticking over, but there's not really much going on in it right now. But yeah, the cloak itself relates to sort of the item that a hero puts on. So like each of the heroes gets to sort of play that villain. They'll be attached to that villain or foe or friend. But the sort of the antagonist here, like they get to wear that outfit, so they'll end up looking like Morrigan in the end zone, sort of with all of the sort of bells and whistles that come with it, and have all those abilities when they turn into something because they're slowly possessed over it. She acts through this, which is linking them in. I'm not explaining this very well, am I?
I have already had the waffle alert up, if I'm honest.
Yeah. I know what I mean. My brain's not really with it. I think you know.
Basically, each item is basically so for example, Morrigan's cloak is almost like her conduit to the realm, to the place where our heroes are. When a hero has possession of that particular item, because not all of them are clothing, it sort of gives that link to that power. So the cloak is a link to Morrigan. So it almost makes makes them like an ally of Morrigan, and brings it more so they're sort of more pushed towards Morrigan style. Her way of thinking.
But yeah, it gives them access to her sort of her villain abilities and sort of traps and whatchamacallits.
And thingamajigs.
Yeah. all of that as you're going through the quest, and then at the end, like her summon, which is going to be sort of very, very focused on what she is in folklore. So it's very focused around sort of like this very vindictive character. There's a lot of ravens and smoke and fog, just all kinds of fairly cool stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to stop waffling. But
No, mate, you are making sense. Don't worry.
good. Yeah, so yeah, that still not pinned down what exactly like that final summon will look like, and there'll probably be different stages of it, sort of for the various types you'll go up against. So like the different sort of tiers of whatnot you're going up against in the quest. So like there'll be sort of like a more standard mode one, a more hardcore mode one, and then like a nightmare mode one. But yeah, this is what the villain gets to play, and that's what they get to have fun with, and sort of that'd be the faction leader that they'd be tied to, and gets to whisper in their ear and whatnot. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, that was a good explanation, considering your brain's a bit mushy. There's only slurred waffle in there. No. The next thing we put out was the standing stone. So every power has their own standing stone. So that is their role is sort of, well, similar to any sort of thing like that, where that is where the followers go and congregate to sort of.
Yeah, so the standing stones are kind of like a cross between the style of like the altars and sort of like the whole religious center. So they'll be around any of the ether springs that particular villain owns. So if like they're defending them, then they'll sort of like have a nice little effect around it to show that they're in their home territory, and if and that'll be sort of like quest wide, and if like they're defending from like a different faction, then it'll be there, but it'll have a different sort of effect around everything. But the flip side of it is because like we're gonna have parts of the world sort of explorable for like the more single player sort of like group against the computer kind of stuff, just random little quests that you'll run out and sort of like you'll farm for things, rather than like going into an actual sort of like player versus player match, which is what the main quests are. They'll be there and they'll act like demon doors from like Fable and stuff like that. So they'll give you access to bits of story. They'll give you access to the ether like time trial sort of challenge things, the challenge quests. That again will be like sort of either things that you can do on your own or things that you'll have to do as a party. Yeah, I think it's going to be Demon Dory. Yeah.
It is sort of like a demon door, and also how the Daedric princes in the Elder Scrolls, how their sort of shrines and stuff are as well. That's so it's like a nice cross between those two, which is.
I don't know what that is.
It's okay, dear. A lot of people do.
Okay. I mean, I put the Elder Scrolls discs in before, but.
Yes, but you spend most of your time in Elder Scrolls collecting everything inside.
Well, you never know what's going to be worth something or not. I'm just saying, like, if it's like Fallout, then everything's worthwhile. You know?
It's not. It's
have to have everything.
You don't.
You do.
Anyway.
Like, what if I want to have, like, this little garden gnome and a skull and combine them into, I don't know, a skeleton?
Anyway. Each standing stone will have a representation of the power. So Morrigan's is a raven. So there will be, recognisable sort of straight away. So that is similar to, like in the Elder Scrolls with the Daedric Princes, they're all slightly different. So you can look at it and go, oh, that is so-and-so's, or I think
it's going to lend itself into, like, the armies that sort of will back her as well. So like what sort of gel well with her abilities.
Yeah.
So the ravens, so the more sort of like flying and death focused, sort of more necromancy kind of armies are probably going to end up being best with her.
Yeah, Morrigan's definitely the darkest power of them all, so it will be that sort of side to it.
It's going to be mean and sassy.
With a capital S.
She took everything from me.
Yeah, she is definitely the not so much mean. Well, maybe the meanest, but stands out from the rest definitely. Maybe not for the right reasons. Yeah, and then lastly,
I know we're tying each of the heroes to each of these powers. Not sort of like where you have to be that hero or whatnot, but part of the story is that they're initially tied to a given power for sort of background and lore reasons. But I don't know which one. I think it might be Callum that's tied to Morrigan, but I can't remember.
I think that is where we were swaying. We haven't completely gone definitely this one, that one, but we were looking at that. But yeah, there will be an initial thing where they are sort of linked, but it won't be like forever. So it won't be a case of, oh, if you play with this as this hero, it means you are linked to this.
It's really just like mainly story related.
Yeah, it's basically just the sort of start.
Yeah.
Just to get the ball rolling, as it were. So don't worry, you're not going to be. You're not going to
be locked into anything.
Yeah. So, for example, if we do link Callum to Morrigan, if you play as Callum, you're not necessarily going to be linked to Morrigan. It's just for the origin.
But you're like, if he does end up being the one, like going into his village and stuff like that in sort of the little island off of the island that we're on, which I think there's still arguments going on about what we're naming things. That, like, if you go to his home village, there'd probably be a lot of little things around that village that relate to her. Kind of like it's kind of like the concept of, like, if you went into like a Muslim area of London, you're going to see more mosques, you're going to see more like Ishtar stars, whereas like if you went into a more Christian area of London, you're going to see more churches and cathedrals and crosses and whatnot. It's that kind of situation.
Influence.
Sort of a little religious in that respect.
Yeah, it's the influence on the area.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything you want to, like, because obviously we actually have Morrigan. We've released her. Anything you want to say on her actual design?
It's cool.
Yeah, I was about to say. It is. I know you shouldn't really blow. I know technically it's blowing your trumpet, but it's also sort of blowing our own trumpet because it's the studio's. But anyway.
I mean, I don't. Okay, so this is the particular image that has been put out is a very rough one. That when the day it went out, I actually got quite angry about it because it didn't turn out how I wanted it to. But in terms of like the actual design elements, I think it gets the picture across of the design elements where I wanted her sort of like raven cloak to like come off in bits of feathers and go into a sort of a mist that converts into ravens, and it's going to it ties in very well with the visual effect that we want for a lot of her moves, because she's about sort of being in the shadows and sort of being able to move around in the darkness and obscure the player's view and be very just annoying
and sneaky.
Yeah, and sneaky and just like striking from nowhere. Because her focus is around that, we wanted to have like this visual element that really tied into sort of like the established like real world lore with Morrigan. So, you know, having like this, and she's essentially the Celtic version of death, with PMS. So we wanted to tie that element in, and having the ravens sort of like come down and sort of make her form as she comes back out of the shadows and sort of like disappear into a million sort of like directions when she sort of like goes into them, and sort of fly around in circles to whip up like these obscure blinding fogs and stuff like that. Like it I think that comes across quite well in the design elements.
Yeah, it's definitely linked in with her, and it does come across, and also it's just freaking cool.
One thing I was concerned about, and sort of this, it might change a little going forward, is she does have an awful lot of skin showing. So we'll see what happens when she gets sort of her design refined, to see if maybe she can't be a little more conservative in her outfit. Because I have a feeling that as awesome and as cool as it is, there might be a lot of complaints about it, especially from like parents. So
it's fine. We'll have Mildred appear and just put a jacket on her.
It's supposed to be a cloak. Yeah.
Well, no, just a random jacket. Just like, oh, you're going to catch a cold. Here you go.
For the moment, I know we're not sort of talking too much about like why they look, why sort of like the items are sort of being put more on human-looking characters. We're not sort of going into that just yet.
Yeah, we'll go into that once we've got all the powers out.
Yes. Well, I mean, it depends. It depends on like where's the story throughout all of that.
Well, yeah.
There's kind of a cool backstory that's like weird, starting to be woven.
Yeah. So once that's down, then all can be revealed. Dum dum dum. Oh, it is one of those days. Right. Anything else on Morrigan, or do you want to move on?
No, I think that covers a lot about her now, actually.
Yeah. Should we move on to Gwydion?
Yeah.
Okay. So far we've only released 2 bits around him.
Because the third one I'm colouring at the moment. Right now.
But so that will be out in the next day or so.
Later today.
Oh, that'll be alright then.
Yeah.
So first thing, so again similar to Morrigan, we put out his item first, which is his satchel. I
really love this, getting to work on the satchel for him. Because the sort of, what's it called? I think it's called.
It's called.
Yeah, no. I had the word and then it just was like, no, screw it, I'm out of here, and walked off. And it's like a mage, not mage, a sorcerer, someone who does all the potions and whatnot.
An alchemist.
Yes, it's called, it came from like an alchemist orbs bag, and I really like the idea of like having that sort of cylindrical thing that had like a very star-like pattern on top of it, and then like the pattern on the top of it, which like I got the perspective so wrong on it, but the pattern on top of it is the sort of the symbol for the character, which I didn't get this. I didn't really for Morrigan. Wasn't really able to get her sort of her pattern, because each of the gods, each of the powers have their own. No, I didn't say that. Each of the powers have their own symbol that they can be easily recognised, that sort of like will be on stone things here and there. So kind of like the Adventurers Guild seal. So yeah, I had a lot of fun doing like the sort of sphere part of the bag. And then the rest of it is kind of like a mishmash of like all these Celtic bags. I just had like a window full of Celtic bags, and it was just like, that looks good and that looks good. So.
It's a Franken bag.
Yeah.
No, it does look nice though. Well done.
So yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that one.
So
I had a lot of fun doing his standing stone as well.
Yes, his standing stone, which is a weasel.
A weasel.
It's a weasel.
A weasel. So.
Only because you got to look up cute pictures of weasels.
Oh, it was so adorable though.
Like literally the amount that he sent me.
I was like, none of these are usable because they're a bit too adorable. Like he's supposed to be a bit more cheeky. So yeah, I went with sort of like a more. Like I found some good images of them on a stump, like so there's like a stone looking stump underneath it. I might have gone a bit overboard with the vines, but apart from that, I quite like how that all turned out.
No, it has turned out really well. I was slightly concerned because of all the different pictures that you were showing me of all these weasels. I was like, I don't know if it's suddenly going to look really cute or something. Because you had
just
millions.
Like a weasel, yeah.
It's like, oh, and look at this one, look at it, look at this one, it's running. Look at this one, it's on its back legs. It's just like, okay.
Yeah, like I really like the lore of Gwydion, and I've been having a lot of play with the thing. I don't know if we can show off like the actual what I've been working on at the moment. Like, could I share my screen and?
No. That's not.
I really want to sort of like talk about the design elements of this, but like without the picture, it kind of doesn't work.
Well, hold on. Let me see what I can do. Just carry on talking about the other bits.
Okay. So I'll get a bit into sort of like the lore behind him. So Gwydion is one of the lesser known like Celtic mythological figures. But we've gone with him because he's he's one of these little trickster characters. So he's a little like Loki, or what's the other one? That Egyptian one. I want to say Seth. Might be Seth, like Osiris's brother. Like it's kind of a very trickster kind of thing, and so like we wanted him to sort of be very sort of trickster, magician, sort of illusionist kind of huckster, and very cheeky kind of faction to be with. So essentially the faction that he is for the trolls, like those people who like going online and just being like la, you know, like kind of thing.
I wasn't expecting you to sing the little trololo song.
I don't know how else to go. I am quite high on flu medication right now. But yeah, he's very sort of like he's very lovable in that kind of way, and I think we were talking about, like, because we're probably going to have a troll army anyway. Like, one of the armies is going to have to be like trolls or goblins or something like that. Like, maybe not specifically those, but something analogous to them. And I think, what was it, in Fable Legends, it was the Hobbs or something.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be,
here we go. There we go. I've put up the
you
concept
put
of him.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I fixed it.
I'll have to wait for that to update. So the I've lost my place now.
Sorry, the Hobbs.
The Hobbs, the trolls. Yeah. So he's very he's very focused on, like, just the mischievous side of things. And a lot of his abilities are going to really mimic this. You know, just things that might not be. They're not going to be. How should I say it? They're not going to be amazingly effective. So if, like, if you want to play as a super serious villain.
A villain.
Gwydion, English, you fail me today. Then Gideon's not going to be for you. Gideon's going to be for the guy who loved in Fable Legends just spawning 600 red caps just to be that guy. So it's definitely for the more trolly and I'm going to be as annoying as possible kind of players. But yeah, like, so the part of the design elements that have gone into him is like the big coif of hair that goes into, like, a bit of a sort of smushed up ponytail in the back. He's got on his chest, he's got sort of like this armor that's in the form of the bag. That's his symbol, and you know, it's just very. A bit more of a sort of cross between a whimsical, sort of carefree kind of Celtic outfit and a barbarian Celtic outfit. Like, I did have him bare chest initially, but sort of since backed away from that. So yeah, I think I still want to put some more belts on him as well. I don't know why, but I just get the urge to put lots of belts on him.
So basically, if he turns up and he's basically one big belt, that is. But yeah, he's definitely the most sort of unassuming of them. So you'll just look. So whereas you see Morrigan and you're just like, oh wow, there's something special about her. He's more of you sort of look at him and think he's up to something, but.
I think one of the really, really cool things that we were talking about was, like, how we're going to handle, like, the levels that you're going up against him with. So it's not only a case of, like, the abilities that he has are going to be very much in favour of the villain just being very, very trolly. So, like, for example, the sort of doors and gates that you can put down and then, like, bring up as traps against people, very Fable Legends style. Like, most other sort of villains' doors will have some sort of thing that's like that's in line with them. So, like, Morrigan's doors are going to obscure your view when you go through them. They're not going to stop you, but they're just going to sort of, like, blind you or make it really difficult to see for a while. Tobin's doors are just going to be, like, super massive strong, because he's very strength orientated. And but, like, for Gwydion, his doors are not going to be where you think they are. So you'll see a door, but it's more of an optical illusion. So you're not going to know whether the door is down, whether it's up. And again, it's one of those things just to screw with you as like one of the hero players. And it's just going to be, I can see a lot of villain players just pissing themselves laughing, like, playing as them. And this, at the same time, like, because we're doing effects in the map, so you know instantly what kind of villain you're going up against. Like, the whole map will change to sort of suit that villain. For Gwydion, the map's going to look relatively peaceful, relatively normal, and instead we're going to just have, there's little things in the periphery of your vision that are going to pop up. So like a tree might turn into a horse, but it's only going to be there on like the edge of your screen. So when you turn your view to look at it, it's not going to be there anymore. And so you're going to get lots of little things like that where you think, did I just see that? And as soon as you try and look for it, it's going to be gone. That's the kind of thing. It's just going to drive people mad, kind of thing.
Yeah,
so.
he's based in he is a trickster in lore, so he's based in illusion. So it's definitely something that's fun to play with, because you usually don't have quite such a free reign, as it were, on things like that. Just because you'll be like, well, no, that just seems a bit silly. Whereas when you have someone who's a trickster who deals in illusion,
supposed to be silly.
Yeah, so you can, as you said, make a tree suddenly be a horse. Just because, and it's just because you don't have to have an explanation, because it's that's Gwydion.
He's very much a chaotic character within Celtic lore as well. Like what was it? He turned his girlfriend into an owl or something like that, just because I think his girlfriend cheated on him, so he turned her into an owl. Then he turned himself into a wolf so that he could sneak up on the guy who had slept with his girlfriend and bite him somewhere that we can't mention. It's like, what is it? I think he's Welsh folklore, isn't he?
Yes.
And they have the most insane folklore you've ever read. It's so cool, though.
I know another one, because obviously with any sort of lore like this, there's different takes on it here and there. And another one I read was something to do with his sister and faking that she was like of virtue, and just all sorts of weird and wonderful things. And it's just like, wait, what? Like, you'll be reading it, you'll be following it along, and then suddenly you're just like, well, that escalated quickly, and then suddenly it'll just be like something really random, and you're like, wait, what? Did I just like turn over 5 pages? But that's what I love about it.
So yeah, it's definitely something we wanna incorporate into the character, into like the levels when he's in there, and just sort of like just have a lot of fun with making this as insane as possible, like make as little sense as possible.
Yay, we don't have to put too much thought. Why is there a 20-foot mushroom? Because
just have like Cam and Wes and just be like, go crazy, guys.
It will definitely be one of those things where I think a phrase that will start happening amongst people as they play it. It'll be like, someone will be like, wait, why is this like that? And they'll just be like, Gwydion.
You just don't need any other explanation. So he's going to be I think he's going to be a fun villain to play as.
Oh, definitely. And as you said, for the more trolly sort of player, it's just going to be hilarious. And I think he's going to be one of the more fun ones to play if you're playing against your friends playing as heroes. Like that's when you're all going to be rolling around laughing.
Yeah. So I think that covers Gwydion quite well.
Yeah. So they're the two that we've shown so far, so Morrigan and Gwydion. As Raven said, he's colouring Gwydion right now, so he should hopefully be out tomorrow latest. Yes?
Yeah. I'm aiming for like tonight sometime, unless I pass out.
Well, that's fine. I'm giving you passing out leeway there. So tomorrow. So he'll come out in his full colour and glory, and then we will start releasing stuff to do with the other powers. We have 4 more. 4 more? Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds right, yeah.
Yeah.
My brain just suddenly went, like, I said it, and then my brain was like, are you sure? Are
Well,
you sure?
the funny thing was like at the start of the week when I was talking and sort of trying to get through a lot of the stuff. I was sat there and I was going down all of the sort of powers that be that we have put down, and I kept coming up with 5, and I was just like, I'm sure we've got 6, but I can't remember. So,
It's
but
alright.
yeah, I always for some reason when I go down the lists I keep forgetting Tobin. So I think the order of them coming out over the next week is going to be Evana, probably Tobin after that, Sabrina, and then we're going to sort of finish big with Bridget.
Big with Bridget.
Big with Bridget.
So there you go. There's a little sneaky peek. There are the names.
Yeah. So if you do all of your googling, you might be able to find out what they're like ahead of time.
To the Google.
To the Googles. Mine just keeps kicking back porn. I don't know how to use it.
Hence why I do the Google.
Yeah, hence why I stopped using Chrome. Use Bing now. So, yeah. The questions. Finish up with the questions.
Yeah, you want to do them next?
Yeah. Well, we're sort of we're now amazingly 14 minutes in, and I didn't think we were actually going to have that much to talk about because I only did 2 out of the 3 I was supposed to.
Yeah. Well, we there's a couple more bits to go through, but yeah, we've had a few questions, and in fact, the first one leads into the next thing we wanted to talk about anyway. So the first question was, when will the website / forum be up?
Yes.
Yeah, so that does lead quite nicely into, we still would like a web monkey.
Not an actual monkey.
No,
Well, I don't know. I mean,
something's better than
monkey
nothing.
does know ASP core. Awesome.
Yeah.
I don't.
Progress
I
has
don't
been
actually.
made.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure. I mean, most of the frameworks in place. What we're waiting on at the moment is Cam, who's working on all the artwork for it. I know he was grumbling something about something yesterday. I wasn't really with it too much.
Something about something.
Well, yeah, he said something was annoying him that he wasn't quite getting right. But as I said, I wasn't quite with it, so I couldn't say exactly what. But I think it's coming along nicely.
Yeah, it's definitely getting there, but obviously if you have some web skills that you would like to lend, shoot us an email, publicrelations@liandri.eu, or you can message us on our Facebook and we'll get back to you.
Well, Louise will.
But yeah, so
Just being honest.
the answer to that question is, we're not quite sure, but it's coming along.
Yes.
Obviously, ideally, we would have had it up ages ago, but there's been a few issues here and there, and switching over.
We lost someone last week, and we gained someone this week in the team. So yeah, there's that, and then I was ill.
Yeah, so it's all been a bit like blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it's been a hectic week for everyone.
Yeah. And in fact, yeah, so we did. Someone did leave the team. That was Mario, who was one of our artists, who provided the environment art, and also did Callum and Mildred art. Unfortunately, he didn't feel he had the time anymore to commit to the project, which is sad. We were sad to see him go, but we wish him well, and he wishes us well, so it's all good. So in case people suddenly notice that he's not a part of it now and think, what happened there? Nothing, just life.
Yeah.
Basically.
But yeah, we also we've gained someone new to the team, someone the community probably know quite well. But I don't know. Are we sort of announcing particularly who it is?
You can do. I mean, technically, she's only been with us like a couple of days, like properly.
Technically, like yesterday. But yeah, she's. I'll just say she's quite well known in the Fable community, so she's offered to help out with some of the characters and the creatures.
Yeah, once we'll let her get her feet under the table, and then we will hopefully have some of her work to show, and we will discuss her. But she is known, so especially for anyone that was on the Fable forums before they shut down. May they rest in peace, those poor forums. Yeah, you will know. You'll probably be guessing as well who it is. So yeah.
Next question.
Hold on. When will we be able to show some 3D footage?
So far, I know we're kind of running a week behind the schedules that we did have, but I'm still pretty much set on sort of like mid-June, end of June for sort of showing off the engine for the first time.
So in about a month.
Yeah, but it's not going to have like any of the characters apart from like the blockouts as I was talking about last week. But yeah, the actual engine, like I mean, there's a very very basic working prototype, but I don't think anyone wants to see boxes hitting each other. So.
I don't know. We'd be like, yeah, we scrapped the whole game. It's now just boxes.
I don't know. I mean, Minecraft's popular, so maybe. But yeah, it's very very simplistic and stand-in right now. There's not anything to sort of get excited about unless you're a bit of a programming nerd. Because I can show all the stats and everything of like how efficient DirectX 12 is being used, and I'm looking forward to Polaris dropping next week. So I'm gonna try and blank one of those.
Yeah. So if you are into that sort of thing, you can always email publicrelations@liandri.eu if you fancy seeing some of those bits. And we can. It's fine. It's just I know, like generally people will just be like, what?
Yeah, but I think with what it is at the moment, most people will be like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, so that's that. And then our last question is, will you give more details on character abilities or friend or foe? Well, friend or foe we just have, so we've answered that.
That's the last half of the question, and yeah, character abilities we're going to be divulging them sort of pretty much as and when, really, like for the hero abilities, like it's as and when we start pinning a lot of that down beyond like just general stuff.
Yes, so it will.
That's likely going to come along with like showing the engine off for the first time, because we have to have that stuff there for the engine.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a case of once we do, we'll most likely be doing it a hero at a time, just because we'll be like, right, we'll focus on Asta just for namesake, and then in one of the streams, we'll be like, right, Asta, these are going to be her abilities. So again, there's something there coming along which we can look at once Friend or Foe is over, and we're a bit more towards the engine side of things, so we can actually see what works.
Yeah,
because
we can have some amazing ideas. We can plan them out on paper. Well, I say paper, realistically it's sketchbook. We can do all of this awesome stuff, but then it's just as easy that when we get it into the engine, we find out that it's really, really crap, or it's really, really broken, and it's not a fun ability and stuff like that. So quite easily to just screw it up into a ball and throw it out and find something that does work, that does fit and stuff like that. So they're probably going to change over over the actual development, with playtesting coming back from the patrons who are involved in that.
Yeah. So, because we don't want to be like, oh yeah, they're gonna have this amazing ability where this happens and that happens, and then we put it into the engine. The engine's just like, no, no, and then we have to sort of backtrack and be like, yeah, they can't have it.
Yeah.
So once we can test them, then and confirm that we can do it, then we will release them. Since you did just mention our patrons, our Patreon recently we have updated, so the sort of about us, or I believe it's called Why StudioRaven, is on there. We've updated that recently, added a little bit more to the rewards, so we've added in the credits now, so how many credits you'll be getting. So the credits that will then be used for the merchandise shop and also in-game.
We still have the video to do for it.
Yeah.
Because we need to cut that down from being well, this is the hour long video we had beforehand to the 4-minute thing, but it's just getting everyone in one place to get everything done for it is kind of like herding cats with the team right now. So, I mean, it's fine when we're working on things because we're sort of going off on our own and working on those things, and then getting the odd feedback here and there. But actually having us all in one place so that we can do all our voice parts and sort of have it all blended together and sort of then put the animation to it and whatnot. It's a lot like herding cats. I don't think we've all been in the same chat at the same time yet. So, yeah, it's something we have to sort of figure out and work our schedules around to get done.
Yeah, we'll be discussing and putting that down soon. Okay, anything else? Or are you happy for me to wrap up?
Questions from the chat. We have a second person watching today.
Are there any questions from the chat?
Well, I'm giving them a chance.
Oh. Thought you meant that there was.
We'll just wait 30 seconds and put the waffle up if you want.
Waffle.
Overwatch comes out tomorrow though.
Oh, definitely putting up the waffle now.
Well, Overwatch comes out tomorrow, and oh my god, I love the open beta of that, and I love the sort of the pre-purchase beta. I don't think it was a closed beta; it was just anyone who pre-purchased got in 2 or 3 days early. I loved that, and there was some things from that I took away and have been thinking about in terms of what we're doing to see, because there's some things that work in that game. There's some things that I'm just so it gives me some ideas of what we can avoid and whatnot. And then of course Doom came out as well, which is a beautiful game. I can't talk about Doom because otherwise I'm just going to gush. So yeah.
I was going to say there's only so much waffle alert. I didn't do a mega waffle alert.
But one of the things I did want to sort of briefly touch on is we are there is still sort of like talk about like having maybe sort of like the Sunday or the Saturday that we don't do the podcast, have it as like a games night for like anyone who wants to join in with the team. So I still think that's sort of like a cool idea to sort of get people involved in having them. Then like we can have chats while we're playing a game with people who are following the development and sort of get questions from that as well, which would be cool. And then we can sort of sit there and talk about like the games that we're playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Okay. So yeah, so that was the stream. Make sure you check out our updated Patreon. So that's patreon.com/StudioRaven.
Oh yeah, I think I think you did a good job on that.
Well, I think.
I quite liked the update.
Yeah. We had positive feedback from one of our patrons over that. So
I still have to put up the sort of the new headshots.
Mhm.
Apart from that.
No, apart from that, that's cool. And then also, you can head on over